here, exactly. Steph Curry, he had the night off. Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green, they were ready to pick up the slack here. Remember, Shanae, without Steph Curry for the Golden State Warriors, they're 90 and 150 in games all time without Steph, but Draymond picked it up defensively.
One thing I love is Draymond does not run from a fight. He's going up against Giannis Antetokounmpo, who's one of the best post in the paint scorers in the NBA. Held him to 31%, so he loved the challenge.
Draymond was all over.
Do you think you have a Defensive Player of the Year case this year?
I think, obviously, we keep winning and close this year out strong. Most definitely. I look around the league, I don't see many players impacting the game on the defensive end the way I do. I don't see many players completely throwing off an entire team's offense the way I do. So 1,000%, especially with Wemby going down. Seemed like he had it won, and now it's right there. So 1,000,000% I have a case, and I'll continue to build that case for these next 13 games.
Well, he does need to play in 11 of those next 13 games to qualify. The Warriors' defense, though, it's been incredible since the debut of Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green has really been an anchor for that. Golden State, the second best defense in the NBA during that stretch, and Dre has held opponents to 42% shooting on their shots, 7th best in the league. That's according to Second Spectrum. It's been 8 years since Draymond was named Defensive Player of the Year. UD, do you think that he is the DPOY this year?
He's definitely in the conversation.
Okay.
And I like it because he's old, like me. It's been 8 years since Draymond has had the Defensive Player of the Year. At 35 years old, it's remarkable that we even having this conversation. So shout out to Draymond. But there's very few guys in the league that can really guard 1 through 5 and be effective. And he's one of those guys that can guard 1 through 5.
All right, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it because when his career is over, we're going to say he probably deserved a couple more, right? That's the nature of the conversation. And this year, there's an opening now without Victor Wembanyama. But I'm curious what you guys think about Evan Mobley. A lot of people see him as a favorite. Their defense is number 8 in the NBA. The torture chamber, when you have a nickname like that because your team is number 1 defensively and you get the toughest defensive assignment, I want you guys to think about this. I believe the Oklahoma City Thunder have the fewest opponents scoring 30 points. That's because he takes on those guys. He's committed. Dyson Daniels just made some history. He has the most steals in an NBA season since 2008. That was CP3's year.
And the best nickname in the NBA, the Great Barrier Thief.
Exactly. So there's some options out there. The Great Barrier Thief, the torture chamber. I'm surprised Draymond doesn't have one.
Well, look, I'm not mad at it. It's definitely a conversation when it comes down to Draymond. Here's what pisses me off.
Oh.
Hey.
Okay.
Going straight there.
But this is early.
It's too early to be mad.
Why is it leaning towards, when it comes down to the Defensive Player of the Year, why does it lean towards the big wings or big men? Like, the Oklahoma City Thunder has the best defensive team in the NBA, right? They have the MVP in SGA.
Who's like number 4 in steals per game.
He's number 2.
Oh, there you
go. So let's go to the other side of the floor for SGA. Why isn't he in the Defensive Player of the Year conversation? He's top 20 for his opponent's field goal percentage. At his position at the guard, for his block shots, he's top 5. He's number 2 in steals. Their team leads every category defensively. They're number 1. Why is he not in that conversation?
Oh, my gosh.
We always leaning towards the bigs and who's blocking shots and who's rim protecting.
I'm so excited.
SGA is doing his damn thing.
When you think about seasons of this nature where you win MVP and DPOY and win a championship, I think the last one was Houston, Hakeem Olajuwon.
No, it was actually Giannis, I believe.
Was it Giannis?
It might have been in Giannis.
Both of y'all.
No, I said and win a championship.
It might be Giannis.
And win a championship.
No, the same year. Giannis was an MVP.
Okay.
Yeah, you're killing my role. I think it's the king.
Go ahead.
Research is confirming as we speak. J. Joe, what you got?
He's working on it.
Yeah, continue.
I'm pretty sure. But, like, you're right, because we always talk about how he leads the NBA in scoring, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, that he has been, like, consistent with the most 40-point games, all those types of things. But we don't really talk about the impact he had defensively as much, maybe because he's playing alongside and defending alongside Lou Dort as well.
No, it's because he's guarding the weakest defender on the other team. He's guarding the weakest offensive player on the other team. That's why. We all know what people do with their superstars. They hide their superstars. He's probably guarding the guy that's going to get 5 shots. He's playing off the ball. He can shoot the passing lane and get a steal. We're not giving SGA no most damn defensive player of the year. We're not doing that. We can give him the MVP. He can score at all 3 levels like Jesus.
That changed Malik.
But he is not giving him no defensive
You don't think they searching them out?
Thank you, J-Joe. I'm correct.
And you have to go
and everybody search Steph out. And what Steph do? Pass him along to somebody else and go up in there.
Now, when he won that championship,
so
he
Perk,
was
I have a
going
question.
down Horford on that
I
low
have a
block.
question. If it's not SGA and it's not Draymond, who do you think
And it ain't Evan Mobley.
Well, I mean, it's a
Zubac took him to the dungeon last night.
We're going to get to that.
Okay.
Here's what I'll say about Draymond Green. Draymond is one of the most influential and impactful defensive players of the last 15 years. If he only has 1 DPOY,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I do think we're going to look back at that with some questions. All right. I do have a trivia question, not who was the last player to win Defensive Player of the Year, MVP, and a championship, but
I have that one.
Do you happen to know what the most watched regular season game in NBA history was? I have some clues for you, okay?
Ooh.
It featured 2 Eastern Conference Finals teams. Neither team won the title that season. And if you're a movie fan, Toy Story was the #1 movie that year.
96, 97?
Ooh, you're
I mean, it's Toy Story that's helping me.
You're close.
I'm so
Is it,
all right.
Is it the Bulls?
Oh!
The Bulls versus
My girl's going for it.
the Knicks?
Oh, she's so close. It was the
Bulls versus
Bulls
Pistons?
and the Pacers.
Oh, it's so
it was
freaking
March
close.
19th of 1995. And
Look at him go.
35 million people tuned in for Michael Jordan's return from retirement.
Do I get? Do I get up
get
who
half
said
credit.
that? Do
Yeah.
I get another point on
Yeah,
who said
you
that?
get another. I'm gonna give you another point. We're gonna get to that in just a little bit. So
Numbers
come on.
wrong.
Yesterday, Michael Jordan announced he was returning from his 17-month retirement via fax. Only half of the people watching remember those. But then, 30 years ago today, he was on the court. There was no ramp up back in those days. And before the break, we asked what was the highest rated regular season game in NBA history. It was the Bulls at the Pacers. Jordan made his return. An estimated 35 million people in the United States tuned in. Here's how the Big Show covered his return that night. Dan, Keith, it is all yours.
Warm greetings. Welcome to SportsCenter alongside tag team partner Keith Olbermann. I'm Dan Patrick.
This just in, Michael Jordan has retired. No, not really.
The last Chicago player to wear number 45, Ed Nealy. Michael a little bit nervous trying to live up to Ed Nealy. He put his pants on backwards. He struggled early, trying to shake off the rust, the 18-month layoff, and it showed. Michael, outside, inside, couldn't get it to go. Then the patented drive. Michael. Rick Smits gets a piece of it. Michael 0 for 6 from the floor. Indiana ready to play. Reggie Miller, the pull-up for 3 that touches nothing but the bottom of the net. Indiana by 10 at the break. Then the old Jordan would finally emerge. MJ the steal from Rick Smits and takes it the distance. And he wanted to throw this one down in the worst way. Mark Jackson got out of the way. The Bulls would come back thanks to Scottie Pippen. 19 seconds to go. We're tied at 92. Pacers last chance. And they look to Reggie Miller. Jordan and the Bulls a foul to give, and he gave it. And we go into overtime. In overtime, Jordan goes inside, using the height advantage over Byron Scott. Jordan hobbling, still feeling the effects of the collision with Miller. The Pacers would get the last word. Byron Scott, 2 of the 17. Not quite a Disney ending for Michael Jordan, but he's back.
And that is how you do a highlight. UD, as Tim McMahon joins us here on set, what do you remember from that game, from that night?
How he came out and got 28 of them things up. He was not gun shy. I mean, I thought he was going to come out facilitating, easing his way into the game, but Mike came back like he never left off.
The 45 just does not look right. It's distracting. It's confusing. I'm sorry. I just can't look at Michael Jordan wearing 45 and feel right.
Well, I think at that time I was 11 and I was trying to adjust the clothes hanger and I could make sure I could actually see the game. You know, you had the clothes hanger for the antenna to get the signal right.
Did you get it?
Yeah, but it was kind of late.
It's all right. Tim says you didn't want to see it 45 anyway. That's not the true. that's not what's right in his mind. That was then. This is now. Let's talk about what happened last night. Not with the Milwaukee Bucks and the Golden State Warriors, but hopefully with the Cleveland Cavaliers is what we were hoping to get to. Having their full starting 5 available for the first time in 9 days. Los Angeles facing Kawhi Leonard. This burst is what we've been waiting to see.
And look who's guarding him. Darius Garland. He gets picked on. He's top 10 for us being hunted out on mismatches.
And then Max Strus, though, had a team-high 24 points. The Cavaliers up here. James Harden gets inside, can't quite get this to go. Somehow fights over the larger defender, kicks it back out. Bogdanovic drains the three. 8 of 8 from the field, by the way, for Bogdanovic, 20 points off the bench. So here, 2-point game, UD. James Harden.
Oh, I mean, this is the matchup that they wanted, and I think Cleveland has to really rethink these matchups. I know Evan Mobley can move his feet, but he's getting attacked by guards. They're putting him in action. They know he's going to switch, and everybody's getting downhill against him.
I love when he does a little celebration on the way back, like even he can't believe it. To the fourth quarter we go. 2 minutes left in the fourth. The Clippers lead by 8. Leonard creates separation.
Ooh, that's tough. That's tough.
Hits a little fadeaway jumper. The Clippers lead 113-103. Under 5 minutes to go here. The Clippers lead by 6. Harden finds Zubats. Zubats had himself a night on his 28th birthday, 28 points, 20 rebounds for Big Zoo. Under 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
Look at
Leonard.
Look at Kawhi getting some jelly out there.
Nobody wanted to switch. That's what that was. Mobley ain't want to switch, and he ain't want to switch up.
119. Kawhi uncorked a 2019 vintage performance against the Cavaliers with his 33 points on just 19 shots. It was his 64th 30-point game with the Clippers. That's tied with Blake Griffin for the third most in franchise history. So, howdy, partner. You were at the game last night. What were the Cavaliers saying about this loss to the Clippers?
Now, look, it's Cavaliers' second straight loss, but this really wasn't about, the Cavaliers are in trouble. This is about the Clippers are a legitimate threat. They are a sleeper in the Western Conference. They're not going to be fun for anybody in the first round. You know, you said vintage Kawhi. Those were the exact words that Kenny Atkinson used, and they were just physically overwhelmed by the Clippers. And the leader of that was the birthday boy, Ivica Zubac, a top 5 center in the NBA this year.
Cleveland's a damn good defensive team. They give up 111 a game. The Clippers had 111 with 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter. That's all I'm going to say.
All I'm going to say is we're looking at a group in the Los Angeles Clippers that have a lot of veterans outside of Coffee that have experience in the postseason. Some have won championships. And when you talk about the matchup on that damn sideline with Ty Lue against any other coach, you better be careful. And Kawhi Leonard getting his legs back, they're my dark horse of coming out of the Western Conference.
And look, Kawhi's health is maybe the biggest if in the playoffs. We haven't seen him have a healthy playoff run in a while. But you know what he's capable of come playoff time. That was a glimpse of it last night.
Absolutely. And they're finally healthy and whole, at least for right now, except for Ty Lue, who has missed the last 4 games. He has not been on the sidelines.
Yeah, 4 games this month. The back acted up on him again last night.
Yeah, so